Globalization in the modern world leads to economic growth. We will hold a celebration for the graduated students. Employment figures will decrease in the next few years. Criminal charges will be brought against all of the men. Social media is responsible for helping the government to solve social problems. Urbanization increases the costs for other communities. Students are encouraged to read new books recommended by Professor Jones. We can see the stars that formed 13 billion years ago. The horizontal line in the graph indicates there was no change in the period. Agricultural development is vital for poor rural areas. For the purpose of research, data should be collected and analyzed. Biology department is dedicated to research activities. The notification will not be received until the following week. Formal conclusions could be established through rigorous experiments. Social psychology is concerned with the understanding of human behavior. Our faculty includes 5 libraries in the university. This is the first example of a modern and professional army. Muscle cells bring parts of the body closer together. Students must wear protective clothing provided in the medical laboratory. The student union hosts a variety of social events. Most of the lectures begin promptly, so do not be late. Optional tutorials are offered in the final week of a term. Calcium's nutritional value enjoys growing popularity every year. Many students are now studying science, technology, engineering, and maths. We encourage students to complete their applications before the deadline. All students can learn, even though they have different speeds. The new lecture theater accommodates a large number of students. The university now faces a serious challenge of finance. The university will seek a colossal renovation for the old, empty theater. A wide range of aspects are covered in this subject. Globalization has significantly contributed to the phenomenon of urbanization. Online courses enable people to improve their skills while employed. The speaker began by giving an outline of her presentation. The use of wind energy has increased rapidly. More research is required in the field of food science. You should submit your term papers to the general office. The seminar on writing skills has been cancelled. Effective presenters make eye contact with the audience. Practical experience is a vital part of legal training. The course places considerable emphasis on critical thinking skills. Classical mechanics is sometimes considered as a branch of mathematics. The theme of the course is to encourage students to develop their creativity. Scientists have found all parts of science today. A demonstrated ability to write clear, correct, and concise English is obligatory. Graduates from this course generally find jobs in the insurance industry. Students are required to have an undergraduate degree in biology to be enrolled in this course. There is an agreed consensus that the leadership skills can be taught. The typical part of this course involves the study of society. Lecture outlines are available on the faculty board and the internal website. Our lecture today will discuss the American War of Independence. This is a compulsory course, so make sure you attend. Global connections thrive in academic communities, thanks to social media. Many food crops require a large amount of water and fertilizer. Information technology has changed the way people study today. A world-renowned expert of financial management will give a guest lecture. The history of economics is a tricky subject to study. Advanced technology will create growth in the economy. We have a lecture on the morning of Thursday. Foods containing overabundant calories supply little or no nutritional value. Rising inflation may indicate the increasing demands for consumer products. Make sure you wash your hands before preparing food. All industries consist of systems of inputs, processes, outputs and feedback. Thousands of people turned out to be at the presidential address. The untapped potential of using the sun's rays is phenomenal. The closing date of application for travel scholarship is next Monday. We are continuing to provide postgraduate online learning resources. The capacity of programming computers is expanding enormously every year. The tutorial timetable can be found on the course website. All new medical school students must attend the talk about optional courses. The university's main library will be open till midnight until next Monday. Many experts think that the world climate is changing. We are more able to accommodate postgraduate students than previously possible. The department is doing some crucial work on climate change. Medical researchers have focused on the causes of diseases and treatments. The falling birth rate means the number of students drops. Mobile devices are not allowed during the examination. These regions were both areas of economic development. There are a variety of disciplines in the field of engineering. He wrote poetry and plays as well as scientific papers. Companies' projects must adapt to the general data protection regulations. Our workshops are open for all students on campus. Scientific experiments should be repeated in verifying the results. New developments in technology are influencing current research. Most known oil reserves last for only half a century. Our aim is to transform classical teaching in the classroom. The terms illness and disease are confusing despite clear differences. Online courses allow students to work at their own pace. We are phasing out the disposable cups on campus. Our aim is to transmit the mathematics teaching in the classroom. The study of utilizing projects is funded by the university. Many universities are continuously expanding the postgraduate education's online learning resources. Please follow the guidelines for more information on setting the goals. The teaching staff are actively engaged in original research. Students are permitted to park in campus parking spaces. Businesses must obey contemporary general regulations. The urban geography degree includes the study of demography. Technology is no longer a simple tool that we can control. These words recognize the excellence of undergraduates' research projects. The public is often misled by the biased coverage. Our company currently employs more than 10,000 people worldwide. Rising inflation means increasing goods prices and decreasing demand for products. It is clear that the human population impacts the environment. We help students to develop their individualities and follow their interests. This course can help to deepen your appreciation of art. The university library holds a number of collections of geological maps. The degree is taught by using a mixture of lectures and seminars. An essay should use evidence from both primary and secondary sources. A surprisingly large number of students applied for that course. Our company must have independent financial auditing. The amount of time spent on configuration varies considerably. Please make sure your application follows the guidelines provided. Students are recommended to read new books by Professor Johns. For the small businesses, making profit is the main priority. Academic journals are usually edited by subject specialists. There is no economic reason that borrowing is necessarily bad. Understanding visual media has never been more challenging. Libraries in many areas were closed due to lack of funding. The student magazine is looking for a new editor. Accommodations on campus are limited, but there are more options nearby. There are a variety of different ways to present statistical information. City planners recognize citizens' needs of accessible public transport options. The deadline of this assignment is tomorrow. The deadline of the marketing assignment has been extended. Having strong motivation is vital for achieving your goal. Many important policies need to be made. The internet has transformed the nature of publishing. The British students need to study mathematics in secondary schools. Scholarships are available for both local and international students. When sentencing, the court will depend on whether the criminal is guilty or not. Researches show that spending time outdoors has a range of benefits. Experts say learning and listening to music can reduce the stress. Reading histories involves a process of careful selections. All students have their own styles of learning. Career mobility is very important for new graduates. The technology has transformed the nature of society. Many universities provide exchange programs to other countries. The course will start with the history of architecture. Many university lectures can now be viewed on the internet. Every living thing begins as a cell. Nutrition plays a key role in athletic performance. Sugar is a soluble carbohydrate which is always used in sweet food. The night sky has always involved mystery and wonder. It is interesting to observe the development of the language skills of toddlers. The renowned journalism will last for half a century. Urban planning emphasizes efficiency and expenses of community. Students would develop confidence in their ability to think critically. We are researching on the most significant challenges we are facing in our society today. The universities provide excellent leisure facilities for students and staff. It takes a long time to walk to the university. Providers of higher education treat plagiarism extremely seriously. Imported packages are likely to be used in many computers. Philosophy uses logic and reason to analyze human experience. The skills of great stage actors cannot be taught. Art and design is a competitive field to work in. The history department is very active in research. Please return the reference book to the correct position on the shelf. Extracurricular activities can help students to develop more talents. The English degree involves certain placements in the third year. Critical thinking is one part of a broad education. The digital camera has some advantages over traditional film. The government is funding research study on the consequences of unemployment. The project is divided into 4 main sections. Undergraduates may pursue their specific interests within certificate programs. Field trips are essential parts of most geography courses. The library will stay open until midnight this week. The 2 sides have disagreed on how to solve the problem. Babies can distinguish between what is language and what is not. Psychologists say what we have experienced influences our behaviors. Studying medicine always offers a wide range of opportunities. The goal of the company is to get investment. Children start producing words before they are able to walk. The course covers architecture planning and construction on the international scale. There are many different styles of business management. Eating fish twice a week is a recommendation of health diet. Many diseases on the list have been eradicated. This course aims to develop your knowledge of statistics. Air pollution is a serious problem all over the world. Scholarship applications must be handed in at the end of the month. Studying history can help you better understand the present. A regional assembly was created following the devolution of power. Americans have progressively defined the process of plant growth and reproductive development in quantitative terms. The toughest part of postgraduate education is funding. There are dedicated specialist librarians available all the time. The stock market cracked and had repercussions throughout the world. Biology involves the study of life of all levels. International exchanges formed the important part of our study program. Sugar is a compound which consists of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. Your statistical information depends on your raw data. The researchers are disappointed that their materials are proved to be inconclusive. Certain organisms can reproduce using just one parent. Purity is one feature that makes gold expensive. This book can be borrowed for a maximum of 1 week. The academic tradition of the school ensures excellence. The task tomorrow will require higher-level skills. The student shop has a range of stationery. Banks charge interest for money they loan to their customers. Food has become a political issue in the world. Implementation figures are expected to improve over the next few years. Graphs and charts allow data more easily to be understood. Too much information may be avoided by good research design. We can all meet in the office after the lecture. Undergraduates have a wide range of cultural modules to choose from. Physics is a key subject for understanding the world and the universe. Courses are assessed by group work and individual assignment. Social media is criticized for causing internet addiction. It helps you to rationally assess your arguments. Slides and handouts can be downloaded after the lecture. Even simple techniques need to be practiced to become perfect. The collapse of the housing market has triggered recessions throughout the world. Scientists recognize different ice types according to the water molecule content. Sound waves are unable to travel through the vacuum. Sociology policies are the sources of the government to solve social problems. The course tomorrow will require higher skill levels. The library will be closed for staff training tomorrow morning. Make sure you have saved all the files before turning off the computer. The coffee machine on the 3rd floor is not working today. All medical students must clean their hands before entering the room. Archaeologists discovered tools and artifacts in ancient tombs. Academic development needs to be supported by governments. Key business partners are often involved in shared expense accounts. The history lecture has been moved to the lecture theater. The new media has transcended the traditional national boundaries. The same issue researched the same explanation of the problem. The new technician dropped the microscope in the biology lab. I thought it was through the small meeting room. When parents talk to children, the tense is simplified. The garden behind the university is open to the public in summer. Make sure you choose a course that provides great career opportunities. Native speakers are exempted from the language tests in their own languages. Many vocational courses in the institution are funded by private enterprises. Despite their differences, all forms of lives share the same characteristics. We offer the visiting hours throughout the year for students. The essay will argue that the technology does more harm than good. The reception staff can give advice about renting private accommodation. Universities should invest in new technologies designed for learning. Tutors should set a clear goal at the start of the class. There are more opportunities to receive the grants in most anticipated fields. The visiting speaker used to be a lecturer in this department. The site is designed to be highly interactive. Strangely, people are simultaneously impressed by and skeptical of statistics. Protective clothing must always be worn in the laboratory. Peer review is an essential part of the scientific method. Our laboratory equipment is provided free of charge. More research is needed before any definitive conclusion is drawn. It would be extremely beneficial to work together. In his lifetime, he composed most of the works. Growing population has posed a challenge to many governments. Economic development needs to be supported by the government. As student union members, we can influence the change of the university. Distance learning allows you to develop a career around your commitments. Consumer confidence tends to increase as the economy expands. You should submit your team papers to the general office. You need to hand in the essay next semester. The research has produced some other unexpected results. A good research assistant is not afraid to ask questions. An architect requires problem-solving skills and an eye for design. Writing an essay is easy once the research is finished. We can work together to achieve the higher educational standards. Understanding how to use the library will save your time. Traveling by boat on the river is not possible in winter. Those who are considering a career in marketing should attend the talk. This course is integrated because it has several parts. There is a clear need for further research in this field. The ways in which people communicate are constantly changing. The summer course was cancelled due to insufficient re-enrollments. The scientists found most of the studies today. The school's summer programs help students to accelerate their studies. The railway makes long-distance travel possible for everyone. The professor took a year off to work on her book. The new paper challenged the previously accepted theories. The lecture tomorrow will discuss the educational policy in the United States. The introduction is an important component of a good presentation. The faculty staff are very approachable, helpful, and extremely friendly. The exam system has been upgraded due to professional exams. The essay will be published once the research is finished. The designers will complete the plan later today. The other book isn't thorough, but it's more insightful. The plight of wildlife has been ignored by local developers. The marketing budget has doubled since the beginning of the year. Timetables for the new term will be available next week. The camera can identify eyes and focus on them. The article presents a number of very interesting experiments. Textile manufacturing plays a large role in improving economies. Students will focus on reporting news on the changing media world. Students are encouraged to think carefully about their accommodation needs. Students are advised to use multiple methods for this project. Statistical results should be expressed in different ways depending on the circumstances. She used to be the editor of the student newspaper. Some people believe that education should be free for all. She has made a significant contribution to the field of chemistry. She began by giving an outline of the previous lecture. Some departments have their own specialist book collections. The curriculum needed to be adjusted for the current development. Please note, submission deadlines are only negotiable in exceptional circumstances. Please note that the college laboratory will be closed for cleaning next week. Peer group pressure has a great effect on young people. Parents' talk to children tends to be simplified. Parents are financially responsible for their children until they reach adulthood. Our professor is hosting the Business Development Conference. Organizational failure is considered from various perspectives in academic literature. Observers waited nervously and bated their breath for the concert. Most university teaching takes place in lectures and seminars. Most teaching staff make their lecture notes available online. Many birds migrate to warmer areas for the winter. Let me give you an example to explain what I mean. It is really a comprehensive program comprising both theory and practice. I will come back to this in a moment. Students requiring an extension should apply sooner rather than later. Recession triggers creativity and high rates of entrepreneurship due to past experience. Nurses can specialize in clinical work and management. Making mistakes is fine, as long as you learn from them. In addition to the class requirements, students must pass the qualifying examinations. The extent of advertising for children is open to much debate. The archaeologists' new discoveries stand out in the previously overlooked foundations. The bar chart provides useful means of data comparison. The theater study courses encourage students to exercise their creativity. The theme of the instrumental work exhibits more of a demure, compositional style. Find out how to get your resources before your research. Experts are now able to forecast weather over much longer periods. Economic problems caused a big rise in unemployment. Despite the protest, the chemistry department was closed down. Convincing evidence to support this theory is hard to obtain. Consumer confidence has a direct influence on sales. Collaboration between departments is a feature of successful companies. Please click the logo above to enter the site. Animals raised in captivity behave differently than their wild counterparts. Although sustainable development is not easy, it is an unavoidable responsibility. All the educational reforms have been inadequately implemented. A very basic feature of computing is counting and calculating. A celebrated theory is still the source of great controversy. The economic strength of early Roman Republic will be examined. Every student has both the right and the ability to succeed. Building trust is not something that can be achieved overnight. All dissertations must be accompanied with a submission form. Please confirm that you have received the textbook. The results of the study underscore the discoveries from early detection.